Can we expect any kind of retaliation on trade from Beijing?
Look, Francine, I think there's certainly some risk of it, but the timing of this announcement, the expected announcement today, is quite curious because we have Liu He, the top Chinese economic advisor to President Xi, actually in Washington at the moment, and he's there to defuse these trade tensions, and there's an expectation that he might even make some concessions to try and calm things down. But nonetheless, as you say, China has already made clear they can retaliate, and they've already launched an investigation into some imports of agricultural produce, and there's a feeling that if tensions were to worsen from here, not necessarily just because of the steel move, but they certainly could retaliate in other sectors and cause pain to the US as well. So we're not yet at a trade war, but certainly tensions do seem to be increasing, there's no doubt.
Enda, what about President Xi? He is going to reshape politics in China. Does that give him a stronger hand on how he needs to also deal with President Trump?
Well, it does in some respects. Next week, the quasi-parliament, or the rubber stamp parliament, is expected to cement the rule changes allowing him basically to stay in office without any limit on his term. And that would certainly embolden him, not just at home, but it emboldens him on the world stage to some extent, and give him, of course, the mandate to stare down those hawks in Washington, D.C., to stare down those trade hawks. But nonetheless, though, at the same time, it kind of undercuts China's stance on the global stage a little bit as well, because they're preaching protecting the global order, and they're preaching protecting playing by a rules-based system, but they're also tearing up their own internal rules. So there's a feeling that perhaps this could be a double-edged sword for China in terms of how they want to progress in the world stage.